So this week's trilogy has been all about repairing reputational damage. On Monday, we met Ruth, and I also shared a bit of my history too. Wednesday, we got into the science of why a reputational attack, whether formal or informal, hits so hard and why you can't stop replaying it. Today, we're getting practical. 3 moves to help you protect and build your reputation, together with, and you want a poem and a song that I've had on repeat all week. Let's go. Welcome to Unshakable Her, the podcast helping women in leadership build the influence, visibility and presence to make promotion inevitable. I'm your host, Caroline Esterson. Let's get started. Today, you're going to leave with the following. Firstly, 3 clean, specific moves for protecting your reputation and your peace when you're under attack. 2, a way of thinking about this that turns the attack into fuel. And 3, a song that I think perfectly captures what it feels like to come out the other side of this stronger than you went in. So with that in mind, let me give you your first song clue. It's this. This artist has never been known for playing small, and neither has this song. Right, here's what I know about the women listening right now. You're not looking for permission to fall apart, are you? You've probably done that already, possibly at 2 a.m. or in the car on the way to work, maybe even in the shower when nobody can hear you. You're here because you're looking for what comes next. What do I actually do with this, and how do I protect myself without making it worse? How do I stay standing when someone is actively trying to knock me down? That is what today is all about. What would Caro do? Sometimes you don't need permission, you just need better advice. I want to bring in a listener scenario here. This came from someone in our community, and I'm sharing it with her permission with details changed. She writes, I've been in my team for 4 years, good relationships and a solid track record. 6 months ago, a new colleague joined and everything shifted. I started noticing that people were being different around me and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Then a colleague showed me a screenshot. There's a group chat that I'm not in, and the things being said about me in it are unkind and question how I do my job and show up. No one has said anything to my face. It's all happening just out of reach. And the worst part is that I don't know how many people are in it or how far this has gone. What do I do? Yikes. That is shitty. But before I say anything else, I want to acknowledge 2 things. First, someone in your world took a risk to show you that screenshot. That's an act of loyalty, and it deserves to be treated carefully, because the last thing you want is for the person who tried to protect you to become a target too. So whatever you decide to do next, protect them first. And 2, you've still got to walk into that building tomorrow, sit in those meetings, work alongside these people, knowing what you now know. That's not just professionally complicated, it's painful. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But here's the thing about this situation. I could give you a clear 3-step plan, but I think that would be wrong, because what looks like the right move depends on so many factors that I just can't see from here. Things like how senior you are, whether your manager is trustworthy, whether the person running that group chat has more organisational capital than you right now, or even whether HR in your organisation is genuinely safe to go to for support. So instead of telling you what I do, I want to give you some questions to work through. And I want you to do that with someone that you genuinely trust, not someone who will get caught up in the drama of it all. Someone steady who knows the landscape. Here's some things for you to think through together. Can you protect the person who shows you the screenshot while still acting on what you know? Because if you can't, you need to decide whether using the screenshot is worth the risk to them. Is your manager a safe place to take this? Because a conversation with the wrong manager can amplify the problem rather than solve it. This is the one that I keep coming back to in everything that we talk about. What's the outcome that you actually want? Do you want an apology, an investigation, or the behaviour just to stop? Knowing the answer shapes everything about how you move. And what's the cost of doing nothing versus the cost of acting? Because sometimes the right move is to document, keep building your visible reputation and wait for the right moment. And sometimes waiting is what lets it take root. Now, there's one more thing worth considering. You don't have to address this as a group or as a formal complaint to do something about it. Sometimes the most disarming move is a quiet one-to-one. It's not confrontational. It's not, I've seen the screenshot. Just picking a few people off. I've noticed things feel a bit different between us lately. Is there something I've done that has been bothering you? That conversation will not always go well, but sometimes it pulls someone out of a group dynamic they've half drifted into without thinking. And it tells you very quickly who is driving this and who's just along for the ride. That information is useful. So there's no universally right answer here, but there is a right answer for your specific situation with your specific people in your specific organisation. But first, find your trusted person, work through these questions, and then move with intention rather than from the place of wounds. I hope you don't see that as a cop-out. I think that this is too complicated an issue and too serious an issue to give you a simple 3-step plan. I wanted to give you something that is helping you to protect yourself properly. That was my intention. So before we move on, let me give you another clue. So song clue number 2. The artist wrote this after someone tried to destroy her. And instead of crumbling, she made something that outlasted everything they threw at her. Any thoughts?
3 little moves to make you unshakable. Small enough to start Monday, sharp enough to change everything.
So if you're in this situation right now, here's 3 quick actions that you can take to help to protect you. 1, name the tactic, not the person. When you're being insinuated against or misrepresented, the single most grounding thing you can do is name what is happening as a tactic rather than the truth. Say it out loud if you need to. For example, this is insinuation, not evidence. This is an attack, not a verdict. This is someone else's insecurity, not yours. Naming it correctly stops your brain from treating every comment as something you must immediately disprove. It's the difference between being swept up in the story and standing outside it. And it'll help you stay in strategic mode rather than threat response mode, because, of course, strategic mode is where your influence lives. Leaders who can stay analytical when they're personally under attack are the ones other people trust with the big stuff. This is not just reputation management, it's promotion level skill. 2, keep the receipts quietly. Reputational attacks rely on you being too busy or too distracted to do anything about it. Document the patterns, dates, incidents, what was said, who was present, and what the impact was. Do it in a notebook, a private document, somewhere that is yours and not going to be found, because you're not going to wave it around immediately, but because documentation closes the Zeigarnik loop. Your brain stops replaying because it knows that the information is safe, and you stop being held hostage by your own memory of events. You've got something concrete ready if and when the moment is right to use it. And move 3, the biggie. Regulate before you respond. Don't reply from the wound, not in the moment, not on the day, not when you're still in full amygdala response. Walk first, breathe, speak to someone sensible who's not going to pour petrol on it. Write the furious version of what you want to say privately if you need to. Then choose the strategic version for the world. The gap between your reaction and your response is where your reputation is actually built. Every single time you hold that gap, you're demonstrating the kind of emotional regulation that marks out genuine leaders. So before the reveal, let me give you song clue 3. This artist does not just survive the attack in this song. She thanks the person for it because of what it made her. Do you know it yet? Of course, the song this week is Fighter by Christina Aguilera. This song doesn't just say I survived. It says what you did made me better and I refuse to give you credit for it. That is the emotional arc of this whole trilogy. That's my story. It's Ruth's story. And I suspect it is, or could be yours too. Because here's the thing about people who attack your credibility. They think they're diminishing you. They think the attack is making you smaller and them bigger. Oh boy, they're wrong. What it's actually doing, if you let it, is making your skin a little bit thicker, your instincts a little bit sharper, and your understanding of how power works a little bit clearer. None of which they intended to give you, and all of which you get to keep. And before we actually go to the close today, I wanted to give you something that I wrote at the start of all of this when I was sitting in my own version of this situation and needed somewhere to put it that wasn't a press statement or a sleepless night. It's a little poem for you. There's a curious little hobby some people seem to do. When backs are thin and tempers hot, they throw some mud at you. They hint, they wink, they nudge, they smirk, they dress it up as doubt, then act surprised when decent folks start trying to work it out. A million here, a million there, a rumour starts to spread, and suddenly you're losing sleep over things you never said. But here's the thing about the truth, it's boring, slow and clear. It doesn't need a megaphone or whispers in your ear. So let them point and posture, let them puff their little chests. I'll keep my doors closed, head held high, and get on with the rest. Because mud may fly in public and silence may feel rough, but I was not built to buckle, and I've cleaned up worse than bluff. And so will you. I do hope this little ditty gives you a smile and a bit of strength along with the song for when you need it. So let's review. Here's what this trilogy has been really all about. If you're dealing with imposter syndrome right now, I want you to hear this. The doubt you're feeling may well be the direct result of someone else's campaign to make you feel that way. Naming that distinction is the beginning of getting your confidence back. And if you're thinking about your influence, here's the truth. The women with most durable influence are not the ones who were never attacked. They're the ones who stayed precise, documented, and well-regulated. They let the facts do the talking when the moment was right. That's the kind of influence that outlasts any of the noise. And if you're thinking about promotion, about what's next, about whether all of this has set you back, I want you to remember what Christina Aguilera knew when she wrote Fighter. The attack isn't the end of your story. It's your material. Use it. So to close off today, 3 things I promised you at the start. 3 clean, specific moves. You've got them now. Name the tactic, keep the receipts, and regulate before you respond. A way of thinking about this that turns the attack into fuel. The song Fighter gave you that. What they threw at you can make you better. That's yours now. And the song, I hope it lands the way I intended it to. Put it on this weekend, nice and loud, and dance around your kitchen. So this trilogy has been pretty personal. I want to say thank you for being here for it, because talking about this stuff, attacks, insinuations, the situations where you know the truth and can't yet say it, it's not easy, but it is important because you're not alone in it. Ruth's not alone. And the more we name it clearly, the less power it has. You weren't built to buckle. None of the women listening to this right now who are sitting in their version of this own story, they're not built to buckle either. Hold your ground, tend your reputation like the organ of the body it is, and remember, mud may fly in public, but the truth is boring, slow and clear, and it's coming. Have a great weekend.
So that's it from me this week. Before you go, if something this week made you nod, laugh, or think, finally someone said it, leave a rating wherever you're listening. Just a couple of taps, that's all it takes. And it helps other women just like you who are spiralling and searching for help to find this show. I'm Caroline Esterson. You came here for career advice, but what you're really building, week by week, move by move, is someone no one can shake. See you Monday.